What would happen if I told you that inside you there's a power so immense it could completely transform your life, make you irresistible not just to others, but to the entire universe? I'm not talking about something superficial, like a trick to make someone like you or a makeover. I'm talking about something much deeper, something psychologist Carl Jung discovered decades ago, a secret hidden in your soul that when awakened makes you magnetic, authentic, impossible to ignore. This isn't just another video, it's an invitation to look inside yourself, to unearth what's always been there waiting. And the best part? Today I'm going to show you how to do it step by step, with Jung's ideas as our guide. Carl Jung wasn't just a psychologist, he was an explorer of the human soul. While others focused on what we see outside, he dove into what happens inside, into that inner ocean we call the unconscious. What is the unconscious? In simple words, it's that part of you that you don't control with your logical mind, but that guides your emotions, your intuitions, your reactions. It's like a silent director behind every decision you make, every relationship you choose, every dream you chase or abandon. And Jung said that when you learn to listen to it, to align with it, something magical happens. You become irresistible, not because you seek approval, but because you become who you really are. Imagine this. You're at a party surrounded by people. There's a woman, let's call her Anna, 32 years old from Bogota. Anna smiles, talks to everyone, seems confident, but inside she feels an emptiness she can't explain. Or think of Juan, a 40-year-old man from Mexico City who has a good job, a family, but always feels something's missing, like he's living half a life. Sound familiar? That emptiness, that feeling of I'm not complete, isn't random. Jung would say it's your unconscious screaming at you, begging you to listen. Because when you ignore it, you disconnect from your essence, and that disconnection makes you feel lost, dull, invisible. But here's the twist. You're not lost. That emptiness isn't a flaw. It's a signal. Jung taught that the unconscious doesn't speak with words but with symbols, dreams, intuitions. Have you ever had a gut feeling you couldn't explain? For example, you meet someone and everything seems perfect. They say what you want to hear, make you laugh, but something inside says, be careful, this isn't real. Or maybe you took a job because it paid well, but every morning you woke up with a knot in your stomach. That's not paranoia or coincidence. It's your unconscious sending you a message. And when you listen, when you dare to follow it, you start to change. You become someone who doesn't just turn heads, but radiates an energy no one can ignore. Pause with me for a second. Take a deep breath. Think of a moment in your life when you felt that, a decision you made because you had to, but deep down, you knew it wasn't for you. What was it? A relationship, a job, a friendship. Keep that image in your mind because we'll come back to it later. For now, let's make one thing clear. Becoming irresistible isn't about changing who you are to please others. It's about discovering who you really are and letting that truth shine. And Jung has the tools for that. One of those tools is understanding that inside you there's a shadow. What's the shadow? It's everything you hide, repress, don't want the world to see. Maybe it's that insecurity you cover with smiles or that anger you hold back because it's not okay to show it. Imagine Maria, a single mom in Los Angeles. Maria always acts strong, always says she's fine, but secretly feels she's not enough, that she doesn't deserve love. Or think of Luis, a man from Medellin who avoids conflict at all costs, even though inside he's boiling with frustration. That shadow doesn't disappear by ignoring it. On the contrary, Jung said the more you repress it, the more power it has over you. It seeps into your relationships, your decisions, how you treat yourself. But here's the secret. When you face your shadow, when you accept it, something changes. It's not about becoming perfect, but becoming whole. And that wholeness is magnetic. Think of someone you admire, someone who seems to shine effortlessly. What do they have in common? They don't pretend. They don't hide. They're authentic. And that authenticity comes from integrating the shadow, from not fighting who they are. Jung called this process individuation, the path to your true self. It's like polishing a diamond. The more you work it, the more it shines. Let's pause here. If this is resonating with you, I invite you to do something. Leave a comment below and tell me what you think is in your shadow. What part of you've been hiding? You don't have to share everything, just what you want. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, pass them this video. Let's build a community where we can all grow together. But don't worry, you don't have to answer right now. Let's keep exploring because this is just the beginning. Now think about your relationships. Have you ever felt like someone drains you? Imagine Sophia, a 28-year-old woman from Guadalajara. Sophia has a friend who always calls to complain, but never asks how she's doing. By the end of the day, Sophia's exhausted, out of energy. Or think of Carlos, a 35-year-old man in Miami, who stays with a partner who constantly criticizes him, though he says it's just their way. Jung would say these aren't coincidences. They're reflections of how you treat your own energy. When you let others steal it, you tell your unconscious, I'm not worth it. But your energy is sacred. It's what makes you vibrate, what connects you to your dreams. Protecting it isn't selfishness. It's self-love. Here's a practical action, something you can do today. The next time you're with someone and feel that tiredness, that heaviness, ask yourself, does this fill me or empty me? If the answer is it empties me, start setting boundaries. You don't have to fight or cut everything off at once. It can be as simple as saying, I can't talk today, or I need a moment for myself. Try it, and you'll see how your energy changes. Before we move on, I'll take a moment to tell you my book is now available. It's full of tips and techniques to help you overcome emotional blocks and love yourself more. Find the link in the description and the pinned comment. Let's continue. Jung would say that by protecting yourself, you're sending a message to your unconscious. I deserve to be okay. And that message is the first step to becoming irresistible. But it's not all about boundaries. Sometimes the unconscious speaks through what attracts you. Have you ever felt an inexplicable pull towards something? Maybe you met someone who sparked something in you. Not because they were perfect, but because they made you feel alive. Or maybe you saw a place, a book, an idea, and something inside said, this is for me. That's not random. It's your unconscious showing you a path. Jung called it synchronicity, when the outer world and your inner world align. And when you follow those signs, you start to shine in a way no one can ignore. Let's close this first part with a reflection. What's calling you right now? What intuition have you been ignoring? I'm not asking you to solve it today, just to think about it. Because in the next part, we'll dive deeper into how those signs can transform your relationships and your entire life. So stick with me, because what's coming is even more powerful. And if this is stirring something inside you, give it a like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. This is just the start. If you've made it this far, it's because something in you is ready to go further, to discover how Carl Jung's ideas not only explain who you are, but how you can transform your relationships and your entire life. In the first part, we talked about the unconscious, that inner voice guiding you, and the shadow, that part of you you hide but that holds immense power. Now let's take it a step further. What happens when you start listening to those signals and integrating your shadow? The answer is simple but profound. You become irresistible, not because you change for others, but because you align with your truth. And that starts with the relationships you choose to have in your life. Think about this. The people around you aren't there by accident. Jung believed our relationships are mirrors of our inner world. What you see in others, what you love, or what bothers you, is a reflection of yourself. Imagine Laura, a 35-year-old woman from Monterrey. Laura has a partner who's always late, makes promises he doesn't keep. She gets frustrated, argues, but stays thinking, if I try harder, he'll change. Or think of Miguel, a 42-year-old man from Cali with a boss who belittles him, but he stays quiet because he needs the job. What do Laura and Miguel have in common? They're stuck in relationships that don't respect them. And that's not random. It's their unconscious showing them something they haven't faced yet. Jung would say these situations are projections. What does that mean? In simple terms, a projection is when you see in others something you don't recognize in yourself. If someone drives you crazy, like Miguel's boss, it's not just about what they do. It's because they touch a part of your shadow you haven't accepted. Maybe Miguel doesn't set boundaries because deep down he feels he doesn't deserve respect. Or maybe Laura stays with her partner because she fears being alone, and that loneliness is part of her shadow. The good news? These relationships aren't punishments. They're opportunities. When you face them, when you ask, what's this showing me about myself? You start to grow, and that growth makes you magnetic. Let's pause here. Breathe with me for a second. Think of someone in your life who causes you conflict. Maybe a friend who always asks for favors but isn't there when you need them. Or a family member who constantly criticizes you. What do you feel when you're with them? What do you think that says about you? You don't have to answer me now, but leave it in the comments if you want to share. And if this is clicking for you, share it with someone who needs to see it. Let's keep growing together. Now let's talk about something we've all experienced. Those relationships that seem doomed to fail. Imagine Daniela, a 29-year-old woman from Chicago. Daniela's been dating someone for months. At first, everything was perfect. Sweet messages, plans together. But now every conversation ends in misunderstandings, fights, awkward silences. She thinks, maybe if I explain better, if I try harder, it'll work. But Jung would say, stop. Those constant struggles aren't bad luck. They're your unconscious telling you something doesn't fit. And here's the key. When you let go of what's not aligned with you, you make space for what is. Letting go isn't giving up. It's choosing yourself. Think of Javier, a 38-year-old man from Bogota. Javier had a lifelong group of friends, but over time he noticed every outing left him drained. They talked about the same gossip, pressured him to drink more, and he'd come home feeling empty. One day he said no to an invitation. At first he felt guilty, but then he noticed something. He had more energy, more clarity. And little by little, he started meeting new people. People who inspired him instead of draining him. That's what happens when you let go. Your energy changes and the universe responds. Here's another practical action. Make a mental list of the relationships in your life. Ask yourself, who fills me? Who empties me? You don't have to cut everything off today, but start setting boundaries with those who take from you. It can be a small no, like, I can't see you today, or just spending less time with them. Try it for a week and see how you feel. Jung would say that by doing this, you're telling your unconscious, I choose my peace. And that peace makes you irresistible because you stop begging for love and start vibrating from your authenticity. But it's not all about letting go. Sometimes the unconscious pushes you towards something new. Have you ever felt an inexplicable attraction? Imagine Carolina, a 34-year-old woman from Tijuana. Carolina always dreamed of painting, but gave it up for a steady job. One day she passes an art store and feels an urge. She buys brushes, not knowing why, but when she paints, she feels a joy she can't explain. Or think of Andres, a 30-year-old man from Barranquilla, who meets someone in a cafe and, for no logical reason, feels that person will change his life. That's synchronicity. It's your unconscious guiding you toward your purpose. Pause again. Reflect with me. What's calling you right now? A dream you left behind? A person who inspires you? If you want, share it below in the comments. And if this video is bringing you clarity, give it a like and subscribe. This isn't just theory, it's a map for your life. Stick with me because in the next part we'll see how all this connects to your dreams and how becoming irresistible transforms your entire world. We've reached the final stretch, and if you're here, it's because you're ready to take the leap. We've talked about the unconscious, the shadow, how your relationships reflect your inner world. Now let's tie it all together with your dreams and what happens when you become irresistible by aligning with your truth, as Carl Jung taught us. This isn't just inspiration, it's a real, tangible change you can feel in every corner of your life. So take a deep breath, because what's coming is the heart of this journey. Let's talk about your dreams, not the ones you have while sleeping, though Jung studied those too, but those deep desires that once made your eyes light up. Imagine Elena, a 40-year-old woman from Ciudad Juarez. Elena dreamed of writing a book, but between work and raising her kids, she left it in a drawer. Or think of Roberto, a 36-year-old man from Houston who wanted to travel the world but stayed in a job he hates because it's responsible. Do you relate? Those dreams don't die by chance. Jung would say that when you abandon them, it's not just about time or money. It's because the people and beliefs around you pulled you away from them. Your relationships shape your psyche. If you're surrounded by people who doubt you, who say, that's impossible or be realistic, your unconscious absorbs it. Imagine Sandra, a 27-year-old woman from Pereira. Sandra wanted to start her own business, but her family said, better find something safe. Over time, that outside voice became her inner one, and she stopped trying. Or think of Pablo, a 45-year-old man from San Diego who dreamed of playing guitar, but his friends mocked him. That's for young people. Those dreams fade not because you can't do it, but because you disconnected from your authenticity. But here's the good news. You can return to them. Jung said the unconscious holds your dreams like a treasure. And when you start listening to its signals, those intuitions, those synchronicities, something awakens. Think about this. What dream have you left behind? Maybe you wanted to learn to dance, move to another city, start a project. Now imagine how your life would be if you picked it back up. Practical action. Today, take a small step toward that dream. If it's writing, grab a notebook and write one page. If it's travel, pick a destination and make a plan. It doesn't matter how small it is. What matters is telling your unconscious, I'm ready. And when you do, you'll notice the universe starts aligning with you. Pause for a moment. Reflect. What dream have you put off? What's holding you back? If you want, share it in the comments. And if this is inspiring you, give it a like and pass it to someone who needs this push. Let's keep going together, because what's coming is even bigger. Now let's talk about what happens when you become irresistible. It's not just that you attract the right people, your entire life changes. Jung called this individuation, the process of integrating all your parts, your shadow, your dreams, your truth, to become your whole self. Imagine Valeria, a 31-year-old woman from Merida. Valeria spent years trying to fit in, dressing how her friends wanted, dating who she should. But one day tired, she decided to listen to herself. She stopped pretending, started saying no when she wanted, picked up her love for photography, and something happened. People noticed her. Not because she was louder, but because she glowed from within. Or think of Diego, a 39-year-old man from Quito. Diego was always the good guy, doing what others expected. But when he faced his shadow, his fear of disappointing people, he started setting boundaries, chasing his passions. Suddenly, his energy shifted. New friends came, opportunities appeared. That's what happens when you align with your essence. You become a magnet, not because you seek it, but because you're you. And that authenticity is irresistible. Here's a quick summary. It all starts with you. Listen to your unconscious, face your shadow, let go of what doesn't serve you, chase your dreams. When you do, chaos turns to order, toxic relationships fade, and your life fills with synchronicities. It's like the universe says, finally I found you. And the best part? You don't need to be perfect, just you. Final close. Take a second. Imagine how your life would be if you lived from your truth. No masks, no fear. What would you change today? This is your moment. Leave a comment and tell me what you'll let go of, what you'll chase. Share this video with someone who needs this message, because together we can transform lives. Subscribe, turn on the bell, and let's keep this journey going. Jung's secret isn't just an idea. It's a way of living. And when you choose it, you become irresistible. See you in the next video.